So you can say that you have some experience. Maybe you don't know how to code it, but SEs don't generally need to know how to code stuff, right? And you don't need to go after the big players. There's a lot of smaller companies, maybe not startups, because if you go join a startup, you're going to have to build a pre-sales process and you don't know how.
There's
but
more
somewhere in the middle,
right? Quick double click. I found that on sales too, right? They expect more if you're like a founding SDR or like customer engineer or something, right?
Yeah. Well, for your own sake, you have to build a pre-sales process. I know people who are here today who are trying to build a pre-sales process, and because they can, it makes their lives horrible. Okay.
Good point.
So yeah, go somewhere in the middle. Look at all the different software that you use on a daily basis. You have some experience there.
So how do you find companies in the middle? Like, and I'll say on my end, I coach people like check out, there's some sources like RepView. I mean, you could look at Gartner quadrants and see like who are like, maybe they're not like the number one far right corner, but like they're up there as like a solid like company in a specific category. But how do you like advise people? Maybe Crunchbase, like say startup, I don't know. But what do you think to like find those middle companies that are the sweet spot?
I don't tell people to go look at the middle companies. What I tell people is to connect with as many people as possible, and they can tell you where to go. Right? You can look at all the numbers at Crunchbase or any of that. If you don't have a referral, if you don't have someone to introduce you to someone, it doesn't matter the size. You're probably not going to get in. So I would say, just broaden your network, expand your network as much as possible. It's harder now. We're in an employer market, but if you're looking for a job like next year, don't wait till next year to start expanding your network. Start doing it right now.
Yeah, I love that.
And like the big companies are well known, like Google, it's known, AWS, it's known, VMware, it's known. Like all these companies are already known, and so you don't have to go for them. You could. I'm not saying you shouldn't. Just saying, expand your network and see what happens.
Yeah, that's the number one asset you can build through my curriculum, the Tech Sales Accelerator. Going to launch a course soon, almost done with it for a self-paced version, but I do a lot of coaching. It's like building your network is number one. All opportunities are tied to people. And it's how you step outside the traditional application process of like, why would you ever cold submit a resume that might be overlooked? The recruiter's in bad mood, hasn't eaten lunch. And when you can get referred from the inside and coached from the inside, you could literally get the answers to the tests on interviews. Like for Google, I did spend a month preparing and networked with people, so I knew the interview questions. Now they have a cognitive ability question or interview process where, there's a round that's cognitive abilities. And so a question like, oh, there's a dying newspaper company or private equity firm and buy them out. Like, what would you do? Well, that's a question about digital transformation, at least from a sales perspective. That's what I'm selling. And I at least was able to prepare even for questions as hard as that to learn from the people at the company and get the thought process. So I love what you're saying. The only thing I would add though, because I'm a sales guy, is I make things happen. I create opportunities at the places I want. So I will look at the top companies and where I want to be, and I will network and create connections with the people I do think the baseline is like, you could get a job opportunity through your friend's mom, like an incredible. So like what you said of just literally connect with more people, but also I come up with an intention, like I love this product. They're like a leader and I want to work for them. So I'm going to look on LinkedIn to see who all the key people are in this role. Like who are the people, and this is from a sales perspective, like who are SDRs that could get a bonus from referring me, and I'll reach out using sales skills to get time and hopefully get referred. Or AEs, I'll have cold call a VP, like that guts. So anyways, just another thing like,
no, I agree.
Blend on what you're saying.
So what I tell people is the resumes don't get you jobs, people do. And the first step in what I teach people is cast your net wide, meet as many people as possible, and get on calls with them. And when you find yourself overwhelmed and don't have more time for calls, now you can target whoever it is now you can just niche down.
Okay.
And you can target whoever you want.
I love that. And I'm going to take a mental note of it because I really like your emphasis. There's like an unpredictability of like the opportunities that come your way if you just literally connect with more people. With obviously some degree of connect or intention, but don't overthink it. It is almost
that's the big problem that I've had is some of the people that I worked with, when I tell them connect with people, they spend so much time looking at the companies they want to connect with,
Okay.
but they don't actually do the work in connecting with people.
Yes.
So to overcome that, I tell them connect with everybody.
I love that, man. And that's like a good, just kind of applying the principle of not falling victim to analysis paralysis.
Yep.
Maybe doing what I call the do something principle,
Yep.
which Mark Manson, who wrote The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, excuse my French, he's amazing. He talks about it like we overanalyze and we also wait for inspiration when in fact action creates it, you know? So I love that, man.
The enemy of doing is inaction. I think that's something. Just start.
Great.
Get the momentum. Momentum, and then channel that energy.
You got me pumped up, man. We're definitely cut from the same cloth. We think similarly. And I think there's no failure just learning unless you don't take action. You know what I'm saying? Like that's literally, that might be failures that you don't do anything.
Well, if we're gonna talk about quotes, I think someone said it's not a failure until you quit. Right? As long as you're doing it, it's not a failure. Yeah. As long as you're connecting with more people and meeting more people, it's not a failure. Maybe you need to tweak it. Maybe you need to figure out like why this message is working, why this isn't, and then go from there. But if you continue doing that, it's not failure. Again, on the other hand, don't keep doing the same thing if it's not leading to some result. Yeah, Joseph is saying start somewhere. 100%. Just start. Don't even start somewhere. Just start. Yeah. Right now. Wait till we're done this call and then go on LinkedIn and just start.